sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
Carlos Carrasco came to Kansas City and rained on the Royals parade, tossing 9 one-hit innings behind a career-high 15 strikeouts. The offense took care of the rest with 3 long balls, and now the Tribe stands at the 500 mark, 3.5 back in the American League wildcard race. Josh Tomlin has been a bulldog for the Indians, and he will try to get his team over the break-even mark next on Sports Time Ohio. It's another gorgeous night tonight in Kansas City, Missouri, as the Indians and the Royals get set to play Game 2 in this 3-game weekend series. The Tribe looking for their 2nd straight win over KC and their 3rd straight win overall. Hi again, everybody. Along with Rick Manning, I'm Al Pawlowski. Last night we saw a special performance from Carlos Carrasco, 15 strikeouts, a career high. Tonight, can we get anything close to that from Josh Tomlin?
Well, Josh Tomlin is finally healthy this year. He has been dealing for the Indians all season long since he's been put into the rotation. He did lose to the Kansas City Royals. They stopped his 5-game winning streak, but I'll tell you, he only gave up 4 hits and 2 runs in that game. 1 run. They lost a couple balls in the twilight. They hit one out of the ballpark, but he pitched well enough to win. He's been very good for the Indians this year. He's striking guys out. He's not walking very many, and you can see 6-2 on the season. But he's matched up against Chris Medlin. Medlin, a guy just like Josh Tomlin. He's a control guy. He's 5-1. He's 2-0 in his career. He beat Josh the last time he went 6 1/3 innings, only gave up no runs.
And Chris Medlin has never given up a run against the Cleveland Indians. So we'll see what happens tonight. Now, when we come back, we'll talk more about Carlos Carrasco with Andre Knott and his performance yesterday, the one-hit shutout. Keep it right here on Sports Time Ohio.
Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud sponsors of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio.
Back here in Kansas City, the Indians looking for their second straight win tonight over the Royals. Getting the win last night, and Carlos Carrasco goes 9 innings, gives up only 1 hit, strikes out a career-high 15. More on Carlos Carrasco. Let's send it down to the field. Here's Andre Knott.
Well, Carlos Carrasco was absolutely on fire last night. His stuff was filthy. You talk to any teammate, even Abraham Almonte in center field, he goes, I don't know how guys just don't close their eyes and swing when he's pitching like that. I talked to Corey Kluber about the lineup that Cookie went against, and he goes, you know what? He goes, sometimes it's tougher going against a lineup like that of guys you don't know as well. He goes, I give him credit because those are tougher guys to go against, and he had his stuff, and he would have did that against any lineup. Speaking of Corey Kluber, the Indians coming in tonight with 649 no-hit innings. That's the most in baseball. Kluber and Carrasco, though, I'll give you a stat, guys. Since 1970, we've never seen what they've been able to do. That's have a complete game with 15-plus strikeouts and no runs. Only 2 other guys have done that as teammates, Nolan Ryan and Tom Seaver for the Mets back in 1970.
Well, very impressive, but Carrasco had it all working. The ball was diving. He had the good changeup. He had slider. He had a fastball. It was all there, and it was all at the knees or below. You got him to chase, and you look at select company. 1 or no hits, 15 or more strikeouts. There's Seaver, did it against the Phillies, Ryan against the Tigers, and this year, Scherzer against the Brewers. Carrasco followed that up against the Royals. That's very impressive. 1 hit, and that many punch-outs, you better be on your game. That is what you call filthy.
Some great company indeed. And last night, Rick, we talked about it. His slider and his changeup were really diving.
It was something special. He had another game like that earlier this year. But he with the 13 strikeouts against Tampa Bay. But last night was just a little more special because he had a couple more strikeouts.
So it's the Indians and the Royals here tonight. Josh Tomlin is on the mound for the Tribe. He'll be taking on Chris Medlin. Can the Indians make it 2 straight over KC? We'll find out. Starting lineups and first pitch next. 10 games left for the Indians this season. 3.5 back in the wild card hunt. We'll see if they can make up a half game tonight, as the Astros have already won earlier. Let's take a look at the Indians lineup presented by Progressive Insurance. Kipnis, Ramirez, and Lindor. The top three is once again Michael Brantley is out tonight. Then it's Santana, Gomes, and Chisenhall, followed by Chris Johnson, Abraham Almonte, and Mike Aviles.
Chris Medlin is our Northern Ohio Honda dealer starting pitcher. Medlin, his 7th start this year, 14th overall. He started out of the bullpen. His last time out against the Indians, 6 1/3, 5 hit. Did not allow a run. He got the win back in Cleveland. He and Tomlin matched up. But he's back and he's throwing the ball very well. Both these pitchers very similar. Control pitchers, change speeds, move it in and out.
Jason Kipnis leads it off for the Tribe against Medlin. A 1-1 to the Tribe second baseman. Kipnis comes into tonight hitting .332 against right-handers. Sends that one high in the air to the left side. This one will stay in play maybe, but nobody for Kansas City can get there. So 1-2 now to Kipnis.
Let's set that Royals defense behind Medlin tonight. Brought to you by Ram. In the outfield, it's going to be, yes, their A lineup is in there tonight. It's Gordon in left, Kane in center, Rios in right. Moustakas at third, Escobar at short, Zobrist at second, Hosmer at first, Perez behind the plate.
Here's a look at the umpires tonight. Mike Estabrook calling the balls and strikes. Ed Hickox at first base, Paul Nauert at second, and Dana DeMuth, the crew chief, is at third. 2-2 to Kipnis. Earlier today, Rick, we saw some of that game, Houston and Texas, and it was 9-4 in the 9th inning. The Astros had the lead, 2 outs, nobody on. The Rangers scored 3, and then Mitch Moreland grounded out with 2 on.
Yeah.
So the Rangers had a chance to come back and win that game, but the Astros got a much-needed win.
Desperately needed win because they were in a free fall, especially against the Rangers. But they got their win, and they will play their final game tomorrow.
Kipnis right back up the middle for a base hit to lead off tonight's game. So Kip is 5 for his last 13, and the leadoff man's aboard.
Let's see. It's a breaking ball. I don't know if it's a slider or a curve ball. That's probably his curve ball, but he left it upstairs. And you see Kipnis takes it right back up the middle, put a good swing on it. He left that one up. So the Indians, good start tonight.
That'll bring Jose Ramirez to the plate, who's been hitting in this 2-hole now with Michael Brantley out. Takes ball 1. Ramirez, of course, always a threat to bunt. Third baseman Mike Moustakas in close at third base. Ramirez showed no sign of bunting there. Sends that one to left center. Little Texas leaguer, and it is.
Oh my goodness.
What a catch! Escobar over the shoulder, sliding to haul it in.
That is a major league catch right there. Look at, he's even tipping his own cap, because I mean to tell you, he was on the dead run, his back to the infield, and he just threw his glove out there and it went in. This is one tough catch. But boy, oh boy, did he make a beauty to retire Ramirez. It keeps it. Look at that. You see how he threw his glove back there and it went right in? Unbelievable play.
Alcides Escobar. One of the best defensive plays we've seen on this road trip. Maybe the best.
You won't see many better than that one. That is a tough play. Degree of difficulty, it's up there.
So one away for Francisco Lindor. Takes strike 1 from Chris Medlin. The Indians have never scored a run off of Chris Medlin. He started 2 games against him. One in August of 2013 when he was a member of the Braves. Then earlier this year, just a little bit over a week ago, with the Royals. He's 2-0, 13 1/3 innings, 11 hits. And And there's one right through the legs of Hosmer.
How about that? That doesn't happen often.
Kipnis on his way to third. Lindor on his way to second. It's a one-out double. And now the Indians have something going here in the top of the first.
Did that go between his legs?
It did.
If it went between his legs, I don't know if they're going to give him a hit. Let's look.
They've got a hit up there now.
Oh, that's a ball. He's a Gold Glover. That's a ball that normally he would catch.
Yep.
I know the scoreboard put a hit up there. I don't know if they give him one or not. That was right between his legs.
It was. Absolutely. So we don't normally see that from Eric Hosmer.
No. They gave him a double, and that's kind. But I'll tell you what, they'll take it. Second and third, one out.
Now, and Hosmer is a two-time Gold Glove winner.
Yeah.
He was charged with just his fourth error on Tuesday night, Rick.
I've seen him make a ton of great plays, and that's one I think he could have made easily.
So now two in scoring position for Carlos Santana. Infield is back, so as you like to say, Rick, a free at bat here.
Sure is.
Carlos with runners in scoring position this year, batting .256. There you see the shift. As Ben Zobrist, the second baseman, well over near Hosmer at first. However, the shortstop with the runner there at second, Escobar, is shaded up the middle. That'll get at least one home. As it gets by the right fielder, that'll get two home easily. Santana on his way to second base. He'll keep motoring to third. 2 runs are in. Indians lead at 2-0, and Santana's at third base with 1 out.
Well, you talk about the last 3 plays being a game of inches. Escobar makes the play to retire Ramirez, and then Lindor hits one between the legs of Hosmer, and then Santana hits one, and in comes Rios, and just under the glove. You either dive. He thought he could run through the baseball, but he forgot one thing. The baseball gets under his glove. It goes to the wall, and a triple for Santana, and we'll get 2 RBIs, and the Indians are playing from in front.
Just the second triple of the season for Carlos Santana. So again, the Indians jump out to that early lead.
Well, there goes his string. Stopped at 13 2/3 innings. This time they'll bring the infield in with 1 out.
So Yan Gomes an opportunity here to drive in another. It's quickly down on the count 0-2. Gomes this year batting just .153 with runners in scoring position. And against Medlin in his career, he is 2 for 6.
Indians just a homer away from hitting for the cycle in the inning.
Yeah.
And making it a true cycle. Boy, that wasted no time there, did he? 3 pitches, Gomes goes down.
First strikeout tonight for Chris Medlin. Second out of the inning.
They know Gomes is a low ball hitter, so what does he do? He goes up above the belt, locates that fastball, gets his first strikeout, but more importantly, keeps that runner at third base.
So that'll give Lonnie Chisenhall a chance with the runner at third and 2 outs. He hits that one on the ground to second. Zobrist charging. He'll make the play. So no further damage, but the Indians get 2 home on the 2 RBI triple by Carlos Santana. Royals coming to bat. Bottom of the first here at Kauffman Stadium. Indians with 2 runs home in the top half of the frame. Let's take a look at the Royals lineup presented by Toyota. Alex Gordon back in the leadoff spot tonight. Then Zobrist, Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, currently on a 7-game hitting streak. Kendrys Morales, the designated hitter. Then Moustakas, Perez, Rios, and Escobar, who made that great play defensively in the top half of the first.
Josh Tomlin, Northern Ohio Honda dealer, starting pitcher tonight for the Indians. His 9th start. 30-year-old is looking for a little revenge. He lost to Medellin in the Kansas City Royals back on the 15th of September, 2-0. Well, he has a 2-0 lead here tonight. So they were able to get him on the board early. Let's see what he can do with it.
Alex Gordon swinging at the first pitch, and that's something we'll see with Josh Tomlin, Rick, because he is always around the plate. These hitters don't want to let him get ahead in the count.
No, they know exactly what he's going to come up. He's going to mix up his pitches. He's going to try and pitch from in front. And when he gets ahead, he can expand that zone, and he does that. That's why he has struck out.
It's that one hard, but right into the shift. Francisco Lindor throws him out. That'll go 6-3. 1 out here in the first inning for KC.
The Indians defense, they had that played perfectly, didn't they? Gordon, let's check it out. Brought to you by Ram. Aviles in left, Almonte center, Chisenhall in right. Ramirez at third, Lindor in short. Kipnis is at second, Santana at first. Yan Gomes behind the plate.
And Rick, I think it's fair to say every Royals batter had a tough night last night against Carlos Carrasco with the career high 15 strikeouts. But Ben Zobrist, who hits that one hard to right field. Back goes Chisenhall. Near the wall, it's gone. Home run for Ben Zobrist. So he makes up for last night where he struck out 3 times for the first time in over a year. First pitch he sees from Tomlin, he sends to the seats. It's a 2-1 game.
Yeah, like you said, they're going to get aggressive. That's the 12th home run given up by Josh Tomlin. 11 have been solo shots. And he just tries to get ahead of him. That fastball was belled high, out over the plate, gives him some swinging room, and he does what he's supposed to do with it. When you get a pitch like that, he hits it hard, and it goes out of the park. So they respond, they come back, they cut the lead in half, and make it 2-1 for Zobrist, his 13th home run.
And his 54th RBI. So here's Lorenzo Cain. He's the first Royal to take the first pitch, and it's strike 1.
Looks like it's going to be another sellout crowd tonight. Last 2 home games now for the Royals. They will finish out on the road.
On the ground to first, Santana will take it himself. And there are 2 outs here in the first. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. It's brought to you by Wayside Furniture. First up, Saul Medlin. The Indians kind of did that in the first inning with some assists from the defense. And Tomlin, 4 quadrants of the strike zone. He loves to work them all.
Yes, he does.
Eric Hosmer, the batter. Over the years, Rick, we've seen Hosmer bat just about anywhere. You can hit him cleanup, bat him second, third, even lead off if you need him to. Pops that one straight up. Tomlin going over, so is Jose Ramirez, and Tomlin gives way to Jose.
He wanted to make sure somebody was going to catch it.
And Jose obliged. It's out number 3. We go to the second. 2-1 try. Systems game time temperature for you. Gorgeous night tonight here in Kansas City. 81 degrees. See the forecast. Clear skies. A bit of a breeze blowing right to left, but not really significant.
No, not at all. That ball that Zobrist hit seemed to carry pretty well.
Yep. Sure did.
Yeah, another beautiful night here in Kansas City.
Perfect late September weather in the Midwest. Here's Chris Johnson. It'll be hitters 7, 8, and 9 for the Tribe here. Johnson, Almonte, and Aviles. That went high for ball one from Chris Medlin. Chris Johnson 3 for 12 on the trip thus far through Minneapolis and now here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Pops that one up to shallow right center. Rios. One out here in the top of the second. Take a look at our great clip of the game from yesterday. Abraham Almonte, a 2-run home run at the time to make it 3-0 Tribe. More than enough for Carlos Carrasco, but Almonte has 5 home runs this year, Rick. They're all from the left side of the plate.
Yeah, well, last night he hit a breaking ball. Hanging breaking ball, hit it out of the ballpark, which is good because he sees a lot of off-speed pitches. They know he likes the fastball.
Abe was 1 for 3 last night. He also reached down a walk. 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. Saw the homer. Sends that one to right. Well hit. Rios going over. Won't get there. Cuts it off though as Almonte turns and he'll head for second base. And he'll make it with a slide. So a 1-out double for Abe Almonte. And once again the Indians have a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, their second double tonight. That looked like he got a changeup. He was a little bit out front. He kept his hands back. Don't get me wrong, but the location. You see where Perez is sitting down and away. That ball got a little too much of the plate. So Almonte did a nice job of hitting that ball to right field. Hustles his way to second. He will get his 7th double.
Mike Aviles showing bunt, takes a ball. Mike batting .239 with runners in scoring position. See Almonte with his 7th double there this season. So far Almonte's had a nice start to this series here in Kansas City. There's nobody at second base as Medlin bluffs a throw. Aviles straight back right below us. Mike Aviles getting the start in left tonight. Michael Martinez started there last night in place of the injured Michael Brantley. The ground but foul as the count evens 2-2 on Mike Aviles. Jason Kipnis is on deck.
Indians already with 4 hits that first time through the lineup. Last time they faced Medlin at 6 1/3 only had 5. Well, they are way ahead of the game right now.
Medlin on the ground there as Aviles hits it foul. Rick, one of the things with Chris Medlin as well, that game where he went 6 1/3, he only walked one, but he didn't strike anybody out. And he said he didn't have his best stuff that night, but still to go 6 1/3 shutout baseball for not having your best stuff, that's not too bad.
He told Ned Yost, the manager, when he took him out, that his mechanics were a little messed up all game long. And Ned says, well, that's pretty good. If they're messed up, I can't wait to see you when mechanically you hit your sound. You know, and that's all part of pitching. There's going to be games when you go out there and you just don't feel right, you know, and you've got to work your way through it. So if you don't feel right or you don't have your good stuff and you can work your way into 6 innings and give your manager and your team that kind of effort, that's very good.
Went inside for a ball, so pretty good at bat here by Mike Aviles.
Well, he has kept it in there. The last pitch he gave him, he hung a breaking ball and Aviles fouled it off, but he's been staying tight, not giving him any swinging room.
Mike got a piece of that one as well. And right off the helmet of Salvador Perez.
Going to stay in there. Let's see. Nope, go away with a breaking ball. Second time he spins.
Zobrist is in the neighborhood, but not really close to the bag, and Escobar is well into the hole at shortstop, so it's a good look at it there. Now Zobrist is getting closer. Foul ball by Mike Aviles.
See, that's how their game plan is. They want to pitch Aviles inside with hard stuff, and they're trying to run it in there. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
And seeing our Nissan pitch tracker, everything inside. Once again, inside, but this time Medlin strikes out Aviles, his second strikeout tonight.
Well, he finally went in there. I mean, in far enough to get that swing and miss.
So back to the top of the order, and Jason Kipnis, who is our Kia in the driver's seat. Jason Kipnis led the game off with a single. He eventually scored on the Carlos Santana triple. And you see him and teammate Michael Brantley, doubles leaders in the American League. And there's Kendrys Morales for Kansas City, sandwiched between the two. We'll see him tonight. He's their designated hitter. Kipnis on the ground to second. Zobrist. Nice little backhand. Throws out Kipnis. And the double by Abraham Almonte. Doesn't do any damage. 2-1 try. Bottom of the second coming up. Here in Kansas City, gorgeous night for a baseball game. 81 degrees, light breeze blowing, not much humidity. We'll see hitters 5, 6, and 7 in the Royals batting order. Morales, Moustakas, and Perez. One and one to Morales, who went 4 for 4 on Sunday against the Detroit Tigers. He had 3 solo home runs and a triple.
Yeah, he's had a great year. He's 3 RBI shy of his career high. He has 105, and 52 of those 105 are coming with 2 outs, so they've been clutch hits. But he grounds out here.
Santana to Tomlin for the first out as Mike Moustakas comes to the plate. And Andre Knott, Josh Tomlin this year, boy, he is just happy to be back and to be healthy, but man, he's been effective too.
He's been so effective, and he told me it's so much easier to go out there and pitch when you're not worried about getting hurt. You know, and he came off of really 2 tough injuries, and Terry Francona told him when he was going through his rehab, hey, take your time, get this thing right. You know, come back and be the best pitcher you can be. And he said he's been blown away by how he went through his rehab, but how he's come back. And Tomlin told me, he goes, it feels good to be out here right now, contributing to this team, going out every 5th day and not worrying about my arm. He says, basically, I worried about it for 2 years. Now I'm not worried about my arm. I'm just worried about getting guys out. And so far, so good. At 6 out of the 8 starts, he's been great.
Yeah, he really has. And even that one, the last start against Kansas City was a great start. He only gave up 2 runs. But you think about it, Tomlin spent the last couple of summers out in Goodyear, Arizona, rehabbing. That's not an easy thing to do. I mean, he's put in a lot of hard work. And, you know, you feel for him. And he would watch every game on the satellite, you know, stay in touch with his boys. I remember 2 years ago, he came to Texas one time when we were making a trip out there, and he was like a kid in a candy store getting to be around big leaguers again. So he certainly paid his dues, and you root for a guy like Josh Tomlin because he goes out there. He's not blessed with 95, 96 mile an hour. He goes out and he pitches, and he knows how to get outs, and he has to locate. And he's done that all year. So I think everybody's thrilled for him, and he's a good teammate as well.
2 strikes to Moustakas. It's 1 and 2. And with Josh, too, I spoke with him recently, and he said, you know, as Andre pointed out, this is the healthiest he has felt, maybe in recent memory, at least in the last 2 to 3 years.
Well, you can tell by the way he's throwing his curveball and the way his breaking pitches are. He couldn't really, it didn't have the bite and the spin that it has now. And when he gets ahead of you, he can bounce it around home plate, and that's where a lot of his strikeouts come in. And look at this cutter and into left-handers. That's been a very effective pitch for him.
Game against the Yankees back in August, he told me that he felt like that was one of the best games at that point he had ever pitched. And he knew once he had that one, I think that was the get him over the hump game mentally. He knew he had it.
You know, his last start, he had 8 strikeouts against the White Sox, but he also had 3 walks. His first 6 starts, he only had 3 walks. He had as many in that last game that he did all year, which was a little weird. He was all over the place for him.
Deep drive to left field. Aviles going back. He's got room. He'll make the catch for the 2nd out.
Well, catch Indians baseball with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. You can stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
That'll bring Salvador Perez to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. It's ball 1 to the Royals catcher.
Perez has had a lot of success off Tomlin. 8 for 12 with a homer and 3 ribbies in his career.
Sends that one to right, but slicing foul into the seats. Well, this is how Tomlin likes to face Perez. 2 outs and nobody on. To left field. Aviles records it. The final out of the inning. 2 in the books. 2-1 Tribe.
Check out the Tribe with $10 bleacher seats in the final home stand this week. Coming out at Progressive Field, you watch the Tribe take on the Twins for 4, the Red Sox for 3. Best views in the ballpark, all for $10. Get your bleacher tickets at Indians.com.
Jose Ramirez will lead it off here in the 3rd inning for the Tribe. It'll be hitters 2, 3, and 4. Ramirez, Lindor, and Santana. Jose, a pop out to short his last time up. That's the one that Alcides Escobar made the over-the-shoulder sliding catch-up. Well, you said it, Rick. Chris Medlin, Josh Tomlin, similar pitchers. Always going to be around the strike zone.
Yep.
Going to work fast.
Yep.
And the hitters better be ready.
There's nothing wrong with getting up there, you know, and swinging the bat when you know the guys are going to be around the plate. But now it turns into a guessing game. Are you going to throw me the fastball? Are you going to throw me the breaking ball or change up? Just a matter of you got a breaking ball.
To right center, Rios moving over, and that one will fall between the center fielder, Kane, and Rios. Jose on his way to 3rd. He'll try for the triple, and he'll get there. A stand-up triple for Jose Ramirez to begin the 3rd inning.
Well, you plug the gap like that in this ballpark, you're going to get a triple, especially if you can run. Ramirez hit the breaking ball. Look at that. It was down. It had plate, and it goes into the gap, and he didn't hesitate. The 2nd triple already. They have 5 hits. They have 2 triples, 2 doubles, and a single. And this is leading the inning off with that triple, so a good opportunity to make it a 3-1 ball game.
Francisco Lindor, who doubled his first time up, has the infield in. Look to try and drive in Ramirez here at 3rd base with nobody out. It's that one to right field. This will get it done. Rios will make the catch. Ramirez will tag and jog home. Sacrifice fly for Francisco Lindor. Ramirez scores. 3-1 Indians.
Yeah, well done.
Let's take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind, and how about the 1st inning here where Lindor through the legs of Hosmer, that goes as a double, and then Carlos Santana caught Rios in between, winds up being a triple.
Yeah, those are 2 balls right there. You think if Hosmer catches his, it looked like a double play ball, and then Rios out in right field just underneath the glove. It went as a triple. They got the 2 runs. Now they add another one on.
So Carlos Santana has the difficult part of the cycle out of the way.
No, the home run too. That's difficult.
It's not easy.
It's a little bit easier than the triple for him. That's for sure.
Well, he's got 18 homers and 2 triples. So I figured.
Yeah, that's still not that's not an easy one to get.
So Carlos has 3 hits on this road trip, Rick, 2 homers and a triple. Stays alive.
For some reason, I have a feeling he'll be going for the homer tonight. He does every time up.
There's not many swings where he gets cheated. That one almost hit him.
Yeah, breaking ball down at the feet. I remember a few years ago, Santana walked into this ballpark on a weekend and hit 5 home runs. Had an unbelievable series here.
There's his numbers at Kauffman Stadium.
Not too shabby.
We'll take it. Two and 2 to Santana. A run home already in the 3rd inning for the Tribe here. They lead the Royals 3-1. Swing and a miss. Chris Medlin has his 3rd strikeout tonight, 2nd out of the inning.
See what Medlin does here. It's not his good fastball. It was at 87. It had some movement to it. Looked like it might have been a little 2-seamer.
Yan Gomes, the Tribe catcher, who struck out on 3 pitches back in the 1st inning. .44 pitches for Medlin, already 32 of those in the strike zone. And it's 2-0 here to Gomes. Yan on a 5-game hitting streak. Sends that one to left field. Hit it well. Gordon going back, looking up. This ball gone. Yan Gomes. A solo home run here in the 3rd inning. 2nd run the Indians have scored this inning, and it's 4-1.
Well, they're back at it with the long ball again. They had 3 last night. And this one, 2-0. They tried to go inside on him, and Gomes was ready. That was ball middle of the plate. Medlin knew it. You see him look down at the mound. That one's not coming back. So another extra base hit. 5 out of the 6 hits have been extra base hits. That's their 1st homer.
That home run 392 feet for Gomes. It's 12th of the year. Gomes had last night off. Chisenhall hits it hard, but Zobrist knocks it down, throws, and can't get him. Hosmer kept it in front, but couldn't scoop it. Should go as an infield single for Lonnie Chisenhall.
I would think so, because Zobrist had to sort of dive for it to begin with. He stopped it, didn't catch it cleanly. And all of a sudden he throws over, and Hosmer couldn't help him out. Normally he picks everything. And this time, nope. And we're getting a pinch runner already for Chisenhall. So what's wrong?
Well, Lonnie heading to the dugout, so he's out and Sands is in. It's a pinch runner.
There's something going on there why they pinch run for him.
So most likely Jerry Sands will remain in the game and then play in right field, which is where Lonnie Chisenhall was. So Lonnie's night is over. He was 1 for 2. Indians up 4-1. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the third. Now Chris Johnson flew out to right his first time up. You saw the numbers there on Chris Johnson with the Indians, batting .329 combined this year. His totals in the National League with the Atlanta Braves, he's batting .267. He's down on the count here, 0-2. Checks his swing in time, says first base umpire Ed Hickox. A swing and a miss. So Medlin strikes out 2 here in the third. But the Indians score 2. One of those courtesy of Yan Gomes. His 12th homer of the year. 4-1 try. As you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jerry Sands, who came in to pinch run for Chisenhall in the third inning, will remain in the game in right field. It'll be Rios, Escobar, and Gordon. Hitters 8, 9, and 1 for Kansas City here in the bottom half of the third inning. Rios takes strike 1 from Josh Tomlin. Rios sends that one to right. Back goes Sands. Still going back on the track, reaches up and makes the catch.
They don't even give the guy a break. The first hitter comes out and tests him. He was ready for it. Rios drove this ball over his head to the track. Sands going back, and you better be ready right from the very first hitter when you go out on that field. He was out number 1.
That'll bring Alcides Escobar to the plate. That was only the 24th pitch of the night for Josh Tomlin. He's throwing 19 strikes.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's his game. He can't fall behind hitters. He's got to come out and hit the strike zone and continue to throw strikes. And he has done just that all year long. You give him a couple runs, and that's what I was going to say. That extra cushion should help him out. incredible. His walk to strikeout ratio, 6 walks on the year, 52 strikeouts. Giving up only 36 hits in his 57, almost 58 innings.
Yeah, good ratios, good splits across the board. 2-2 to Escobar, who disagrees with that last call.
Well, what happens when they make a perfect pitch sometimes as a hitter, you know, you go, oh, you can't believe it. And that was a perfect pitch. And he can expand from that pitch there.
Escobar stays alive.
We send out some birthday wishes early tonight. Florence Wolodsko is turning 92 from Fairview Park, and Martha Kelly is 90 in Massillon. Happy birthday. He hung it.
Yep, the slow curve to left center. That'll plug the gap and make it to the wall. Escobar can fly. On his way to second base. He's not stopping there. He'll go to third with the triple.
Well, you could just see in that pitch how Josh threw it. He made a mistake with it and left it up, and you take advantage of it. It was a hanging curveball, and it was right down the middle. You could almost see him throw that pitch, and as soon as it hit the gap, Escobar knew he was going for 3. This is a big ballpark. No one plays him to pull. So he splits the 2 defenders out there, Aviles, Almonte, and goes in easily to third base with his 4th triple. Now Kansas City has a chance to come right back and get another one after the Indians score.
Runner on third with 1 out for Alex Gordon, who hit the ball hard. But to Francisco Lindor, who at the time was on the second base side.
Right. Yes, he was. Now he's on the shortstop side. Hard to figure that one out, maybe with nobody on. Well, the third baseman's got to stay a little bit closer to the bag with Escobar over there. That's why.
And other than Santana, the infield is back. So if he hits this on the ground up the middle, it'll score a run. Gordon has 44 runs batted in this year. To left, but foul and into the seats. Well, Gordon is batting .290 against the Tribe this year with a couple of doubles, 2 homers, and 7 runs batted in.
Boy, missed a good portion of the year with that hamstring injury. That was here in left center field that happened. He was carted off the field, and he missed quite a bit of playing time.
Hits it to right. Sands coming on and won't get there. Escobar went back to third, but now he'll trot home for the Royals' second run. It's an RBI single for Alex Gordon.
Well, that ball jammed Gordon, and he just got enough of it to get it to the outfield, and it was in right field. They just couldn't come in and take a chance. You can't come in and try and catch this ball. You got to let it go. Escobar went back. He was going to think I was going to tag, and I think if Sands catches it, but you can see how far away he was. He just didn't hit it that well to get to the outfield. So it'll be a single, be an RBI. They cut the lead in half again after the Indians score.
That'll bring Ben Zobrist to the plate, who hit the first pitch he saw from Tomlin in the first inning into the seats and right.
Well, you were talking about before he hit that first pitch, what had been over a year since he had struck out 3 times in a ball game, and he did that last night against Carrasco.
Yeah, the last time that he did that was September 9th of 2014.
Yeah. Well,
off a good contact.
Well, I don't think he slept well last night because he came up and hit that first pitch out of the ballpark.
He wasn't going to spot Tomlin anything.
That's true.
Well, and he, like the rest of the Royals lineup yesterday, looked befuddled against Carrasco.
Well, he was one of the only regulars in the lineup yesterday. It was he and Rios, and other than that, it was a bunch of not everyday players. I don't think it would have mattered the way Carlos was pitching last night, because he was awesome.
movement on his pitches, on all of his pitches, was incredible.
Well, you throw a one-hitter at the big league level, I don't care who you're facing. That's impressive. And he's done it twice this year. One in Tampa, one here in Kansas City. Both of them on the road.
Now, Indians pitchers this year have taken 10 no-hitters into the 6th inning. That leads the majors. Indians also have the most no-hit innings.
Well, their starters, if they're on their game, they're awesome. They can be devastating. They have a lot of swing and miss type of stuff.
Tomlin ahead of Zobrist with 1 out. And Alex Gordon at first base. Very small lead. It's another thing we've talked about with Tomlin. He controls the running game.
Yes, he does.
So when guys do get on base, like we see with Alex Gordon, he just has maybe what, a 3-step lead over there? Not much.
Yeah, but Gordon's not a base stealer. You know, when you look at he only has 1 out of 6 attempts this year, and then coming off with that leg problem, he's not going to run. He may take off on a 3-2 pitch or something like that, but that's not to steal a base. But if you're a base stealer, Tomlin will make sure he throws over there, and he'll make you aware.
High pop, left side of the infield. Lindor and Ramirez there. Francisco Lindor says this one's mine for the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, catch the push for the wild card at the new Corner Bar, which is open to all fans at Progressive Field. It's a $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio. They are available for the final homestand next week. Tickets available at Indians.com.
Lorenzo Cain, the batter, with 2 outs and a runner at first. He grounded out to Santana his first time up back in the 1st inning. Indians with 2 runs in their half of the 1st. The Royals with 1 in their half. Either team scored in the 2nd. Top of this 3rd inning, the Indians scored 2. The Royals have scored 1 in the bottom half. And Tomlin would like to keep it right there.
See, here's a guy that's not running, and Josh is still throwing over there. He's saying, get a little closer and steady.
Well, those couple of steps can make a difference on a ground ball.
He's always been very good at doing that. Not many people try to run off Tomlin, if any.
Cain to center, but right at Almonte. Royals are retired here in the 3rd inning, but they add a run. The Indians, though, have the lead, 4-2. Continues to be your home for postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama and history. It all begins October 8th on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here in Kansas City tonight, along with Andre Knott and Rick Manning, I'm Al Pulowski in for Matt Underwood. Jim Murphy producing, Pat Murray directing. For our great crew here in Kansas City, we appreciate you taking us along this evening. We'll see Almonte, Aviles, and Kipnis here in the top of the fourth.
What about Steve Bardo tonight?
Well, Steve Bardo, yeah, working the Elvis.
Don't forget about him.
Or Mike Pacta doing the stats.
Let's go. You can't say one without them all.
Mark Koha.
There you go.
See, now here's the problem. Now I'm going to miss some people.
Of course. Well, you started. I was just trying to make it easy on you.
I appreciate that. Two and 0 to Almonte.
We'll make a list tomorrow before the game.
Okay, that'll be nice. Thank you. Almonte doubled his first time up.
That's right. Maybe Myron.
Oh, Myron's on the Nissan pitch tracker.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Two and 2 to Abe. He's got the average up to 260. This one could be trouble. Medlin has to hurry and gets Almonte.
Well, guaranteed 2015 postseason tickets with the Tribe's playoff payoff program. By placing a deposit on next year's season tickets, fans can gain priority access to 2015 playoff tickets. Visit Indians.com for more details.
I'll see, here we go. Now I got a notification. Jensen Lewis is getting on me. He says if you're going to mention somebody, mention everybody.
Well, tell Jensen to mind his own business. We'll talk to him later. That's right. We'll talk to you at postgame.
Aviles a base hit to left, and the Indians have a one-out base runner.
Well, you want to talk about getting on top of a fastball. Look at that. That was about nose high. He was able to get it on the ground, and it gets between short and third. So another hit for the Indians. They have 8 going in here in the 4th inning. Look at Hosmer saying, how'd you do that?
Well, Mike Aviles, the former Royal. Every time he comes back here, he always seems to have a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Both in that other dugout. Fans here still remember him fondly. One and 0 to Kipnis, who singled and scored a run back in the first inning. Grounded out to second in the second inning. Kip in a hitter's count here. Now 3-0 to Kipnis. Chris Medlin, uncharacteristically, a little wild here.
Yeah, he was upset with himself after that pitch.
The automatic strike. And now it's full to Kipnis.
Well, I think Aviles starts here. You got to start your runner with 1 out, full count. Get a head start. You would think that he's going to be able to put it in play. Although the last time he pitched against the Indians, he had no strikeouts. He has 4 tonight. I still think Kipnis is going to hit the ball.
Aviles running. Kipnis does indeed hit it to center field, though. And right in its tracks, Lorenzo Cain runs it down. So Kipnis hits it on the nose as Aviles retreats to first base. 2 outs.
Yeah, not much you could do there. He hit it very hard. It was right into the tracks of Lorenzo Cain.
Here's Jose Ramirez his last time up. Legged out a triple to lead off the 3rd inning, and then would score on the Francisco Lindor sacrifice fly.
Can't keep that helmet on, can he? Saw him on a home run last night. He ran out of it.
Yeah, even on
a triple today.
Even on his homer trot / sprint, as it was last night, he still loses.
Have to get him a chin strap.
Here's that homer last night, Rick.
Well, on last night, though, you know, he didn't know if this ball was going out because it is such a big ballpark. So he was running hard. And then by the time he saw it go out, you know, he was able to put it on cruise control, but he lost his helmet before that. It's a very spacious ballpark. One of the bigger ones in all of baseball.
One 1-0 to Ramirez, who's 1 for 2 tonight with that triple. Jose with 3 triples this season.
Now, I'm curious to see that triple came on a breaking ball. I want to see how Medlin pitches him this time.
All right, with more on Ramirez, let's head downstairs. Andre?
You know, the one thing that Terry Francona talked about when he was struggling in the first half is he said when he gets his legs under him, he's a really good hitter. He goes, you think about those 2 home runs he hit. The one in Chicago right-handed was over 400 feet. Last night over 400 feet. He's got some power in that little body, and they want to see it in the beginning of the year next year, not to the second half.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I'm afraid of with him, Andre, is you don't want to see a guy like Ramirez hit the ball in the air a lot because, you know, there's easy outs. He's not a power hitter. He's not going to be a power hitter ever. He will hit home runs, and he's strong enough to run into them. I'd rather see him hit line drives and ground balls than the ball in the air.
Well, he's 4 for his last 10. So he's, last few nights, he's had that success at the plate.
Well, the last time Rick asked him to bunt, though, he hit the home run in Chicago.
I know he did.
So go ahead. Tell him to bunt. Let's go.
Well, he's got 1 strike here at 3-1. No. Hit a double.
How about that instead? Aviles on his way to 3rd. He might have a chance to score. Ramirez headed to 2nd. They're going to wave Aviles in. Throw to the plate is not in time. Ramirez heads to 3rd. Another run batted in tonight for Jose Ramirez.
And it's going to be his 2nd triple. He pulled one in the corner. Looks like he got to pitch up. Let's see what it is. This time it was a fastball. 2-seamer trying to run away. So he drilled it into the corner. They're going to give him a double and then say he went to 3rd on the throw home. But Aviles, they were sending all the way. There's Sarbaugh. He says, keep going, boys. They score again, and another extra base hit. He's having a terrific night.
And he lost his helmet again.
No doubt. To no surprise.
Ramirez 5 for his last 11. So he's heating up a little bit here. So the Indians take a 5-2 lead. They've scored in 3 of the 4 innings tonight. And with 2 outs and Ramirez at 3rd and Lindor the batter, the Indians will see if they can add on 1 more here in this 4th inning.
That has been a different night for the Indians against Chris Medlin tonight. 9 hits, 6 extra base hits.
Coming into tonight, as we talked about earlier, Chris Medlin had pitched 13 1/3 innings in his career against the Tribe and had not allowed a run. And tonight he's given up 5.
Tonight, only 1 inning. He has not allowed a run. That was the 2nd. So the Indians 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 here in the 4th, and an opportunity to get another one home.
Lindor 1 for 1 tonight. Had the double in the 1st inning. Sacrifice fly in the 3rd. Down in the count here. Barely hit him. And Jeremy Guthrie is warming up in the Royals bullpen.
This is a pretty big game for Kansas City as well, because Toronto already won today. If that's the case and Kansas City loses tonight, they will be tied as far as home field advantage, and Toronto wins the tiebreaker because they won 4 games, 4 out of the 7 against Kansas City on the year. So Kansas City outright has to win, have 1 game better record than Toronto if they want to be home field throughout the playoffs.
And it gets by Perez. Here comes Ramirez.
Thank you.
He'll score. Once again, the Indians are in love with the 2. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the third, and now 2 here in the fourth.
Double your pleasure. And let's see, does it hit the ground before it goes through the legs of Perez? Yes, it does. You see, he was coming up, and that ball sort of skipped and stayed down and gets right between his legs. And that allows Ramirez to score on the wild pitch. So Ramirez has scored a pair of runs tonight.
And it's ball 4 to Lindor.
Yeah, he's soon to be out of here.
So he'll trot down to first base with 2 outs, and the Indians already with 2 home here in the fourth. They lead it 6-2. Carlos Santana.
They're going to go talk to him, and then they'll probably pull him as soon as Guthrie is ready in the bullpen. I'm sure they're going to be on the phone and say, give us a look-see when he's ready. Yeah, here he comes.
Here's Guth.
Yeah, he's seen enough. 6 runs here, and we're only in the 4th inning. He made the call. So a totally different night for Chris Medlin against the Indians this time. The Indians did the damage.
This will be our Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen as Chris Medlin's night is over. After 3 2/3 innings, he surrenders 6 runs, and Lindor at first base is still his responsibility. Jeremy Guthrie, the new Royals pitcher. We'll talk about him when we come back. Top of the 4th inning. How about Jose Ramirez this series, Rick?
What a series he has had. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Let's watch that helmet fly off every time he's around the bases. And I don't know. It's been off his head more than it's been on his head in this series. He's had a great one. Got the triple tonight, a double. You know, and I really think that he might have been able to get a triple with that second one. Although they did try and throw home, and that was the situation. That's why he got the double. But he's had a good series.
4 for 8 thus far as you get a look at the numbers on Jeremy Guthrie. It's ball 1 to Carlos Santana. Jeremy primarily a starting pitcher with the Royals.
Well, yes, and he was demoted. they put Duffy in, and when Duffy got knocked out early in Cleveland, they brought Guthrie in. He pitched about 5 innings of good relief ball.
Look at Lindor steal that base. Not even a throw. That's his 9th stolen base this year. He's 9 of 11. He's in scoring position for Santana. It's 3-0 to him. But, you know, you were talking about Guthrie, and he came out of the bullpen back on September 16th in Cleveland. He went 4 2/3 innings, gave up just 2 hits and 1 run.
Yeah, and, you know, they took him out of the rotation early. That's why Young gets the start tomorrow.
Full count to Santana. Let's check in with Andre. What's the latest on Lonnie Chisenhall, Andre?
Chisenhall was removed because he has cramping in his hamstring. It was a precautionary reason due to the hamstring cramping. That's why he was brought out earlier, and Jerry Sands was put in his place.
I knew something had to be wrong. You don't get a base hit, then somebody pinch runs for you. It's not spring training.
Santana called out on strikes. But the Indians get 2 more here in the 4th inning. Jose Ramirez does it again with another extra base hit. 6-2 try. Fourth inning for Kansas City. We'll see Hosmer, Morales, and Moustakas against Tomlin. How about last night? Carlos Carrasco with a career-high 15 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, you can sit and watch this all day long when you want to. If you're a pitcher, you just watch the movement, the location, the counts. What do you have, about 111 pitches thereabouts on his CG, one hitter?
He looked good, no question about it.
That's what you'll love. One pitch, one out.
Eric Hosmer, an easy out to begin the 4th for Josh Tomlin. There you go, some nice names in Indians history. Tiant and Sieber from the 60s. Carlos Carrasco from last night.
19 punch outs, 15. That's incredible.
Louis did it in 10 innings, but still 19 strikeouts in 10 innings is still an incredible number in a major league game.
They wouldn't even allow a pitcher to go 10 innings anymore.
Morales with a single to right field as he beats the shift. So he's aboard with one out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Morales 1 for 2 tonight. That'll bring Mike Moustakas to the plate, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to left.
Yeah, we have talked about this before too, as this is how the Indians started playing him earlier this year. Moustakas, when we first saw him, we had 3 guys on the right side of that infield, although the outfield is pretty much straight away. And if you remember, early in the year, he hit the ball to left field. He had such a great approach. He was hitting for about 370, 380 for the longest time. You know, his average is down a little bit. He's still having his best year in hits, homers, ribbies, the whole 9 yards. But he's still 282, but he was using more of the field. And his hit distribution is pretty even when you look at it throughout the course of the year.
So when you do a shift like this, and as you said, Moustakas has shown earlier in the year that he can go the other way. Do you put this shift on as a little bit more of a mental maneuver for the hitter?
No, you're going to play him that way because that's where you think he's going to hit the ball to the way your guy is pitching. You know, until he proves to you in a series like he did earlier, he kept hitting everything to left field. They ended up playing him straight away by the time that series was over. But, you know, you go according to how everything leads up into this game, the way he's been going. Your advanced scouts, they have everything down.
Well, Ramirez, who is halfway between the shortstop and third base position, is now playing straightaway shortstop there, with Lindor, Kipnis, and Santana on the second base side of the bag.
Well, they figure he's going to try and hit one out of the ballpark. It's a 6-2 game.
It's that one to left. Avila's long way to run.
Not going to get it.
That's going to bounce into the sinks for a ground rule double.
Well, there's right there. But, you know, that's a ball right there. He sliced it that way, and it was a breaking ball. I don't know if that was a good pitch by Tomlin. I got to see the replay. You know, he sliced it that way. Let's see. Was it a breaking ball? And it was up. So, you know, he ended up, it made it a little bit easier for him to go that way, and just could never catch up to the ball. It hits into the dirt and it just bounces into the seats for a ground rule double. They now have second and third.
That'll bring Salvador Perez to the plate. Flew out to left his first time up. He's had success against Tomlin in his career, now 8 for 13.
Well, you look at a base hit in Kansas City, right back into it.
Well, the Indians scored 2 runs in the first and third innings. Kansas City in the bottom half scored 1. Indians scored 2 in the top half of this frame. What will Kansas City do in the bottom half? Infield is back. Line drive to left. Avilas going over. Won't get it. It'll go to the wall. 2 Royals will score. Perez on his way to second with a 2 RBI double. And KC is indeed right back in this one. It's 6-4.
Well, there's a guy that's always had a lot of success against Tomlin, and he smokes this ball on a straight fastball that had a lot of the play. Get the location. Heater, bam, right there. So a 2-run double, and Kansas City right back into the game with 3 consecutive hits, a pair of doubles. Mickey Callaway is going to come out and have a talk to Tomlin, and they can do it quickly. Single, double, double. There's 2 runs in and another runner in scoring position. So back they come. The only inning the Royals haven't scored in is the second inning for either team. Other than that, this could be a good old-fashioned shootout here.
Now the crowd's into it now. Second consecutive sellout to see the Indians and Royals here in Kansas City. As the Indians bullpen gets loose, now Mickey Callaway will head back to the dugout. So the Royals with 2 home here in the 4th and threatening to get more. Perez at second base. 1 out for Alex Rios.
Rios hit the ball hard. His first at-bat flew out to the track out in right field. And we got Zach McAllister up in the Indians bullpen.
Alex Rios, who batted 3rd last night, batting 8th here tonight. Swings and misses at the first offering from Tomlin. It's only his 49th pitch. 37 of those have been for strikes.
Well, when you throw a lot of strikes, it can happen quickly because you're around the plate. You may get a lot of outs early in the count and have some low pitch innings, but when they get base hits, they can score quickly like they have so far in this inning because you are around the plate. There's McAllister.
Rios ahead in the count. Alcides Escobar is on deck. In the air to left center. Almonte has a beat on it. 2 outs as Perez retreats to second base. That'll bring Escobar to the plate. He tripled and scored in the 3rd inning.
I'd like to send Gary and Gail Burke our congratulations. They're celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. Matter of fact, they're at the ballpark tonight. They are from Marblehead. Big Indians fans. Watching a high-scoring game today.
Now, these teams have combined for 10 runs on 15 hits. Still not out of the 4th inning. Tomlin trying to get out of it without any further damage. On the ground to second. Kipnis off his glove into the outfield. They'll send Perez. He'll score, and it's a 1-run game.
Well, you're going to see Kipnis got to this ball on the backhanded side. He just didn't catch it. It climbs up his arm off the glove. I don't know if it got on the heel, but it climbs up his arm. Took a pretty big hop right there. That'll go as a base hit. So 4 hits in the inning, and out comes Francona. 6-5 ball game, and we're going to have a new pitcher.
So that will be the end of the night for Josh Tomlin. So like Chris Medlin, he goes 3 2/3 innings. And he surrenders 5 runs with Escobar at first base still his responsibility. We'll take a break. 6-5 Indians, bottom of the 4th with 2 outs. Indians up by a run with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Josh Tomlin's night is over. Zach McAllister is the new tried pitcher.
Well, boy, Tomlin looked like he was cruising along, and the next thing you know, bam, it happened in a hurry, didn't it?
Sure did.
So both these starters that locked up in a 2-0 game back in Cleveland, and Tomlin completed that game. Both go 3 2/3 innings. One gives up 9 hits. Tomlin gave up 7 hits. Medlin gave up 6 runs. To this point, Tomlin's given up 5. So it's up to McAllister or the bullpen to see if they can get out of this inning and hold it from there. And let's go back and score some more runs.
Alex Gordon, who has hit the ball hard twice tonight, grounded out in the first inning, singled in the third. Escobar at first base with 2 outs. Indians led this one 6-2. The Royals have scored 3 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning to make it a 1-run game. Shift is on for Gordon as he fouls that one straight back. Kipnis is almost playing the rover position in right field. Jose Ramirez midway between the short and third baseman position. You get a look at it there.
And he hit Gordon. Did it hit him in the foot?
Yep. So now 2 are on with 2 out for Ben Zobrist.
Well, you're going to see he's going in. Looked like it might have been a cutter, but boy, it got him right on the pad there. It almost got him on the shin. I think that's what he was trying to throw, the cutter. Deflected, it actually got Gomes in the kneecap after it deflected off Gordon. So they now have runners at a first and second and 2 outs.
Ben Zobrist homered his first time up the first inning, popped out in the 3rd inning to Lindor. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs now for Zobrist.
Well, we've seen McAllister too. There's times where he comes in and he pulls a lot of pitches down and in, or down and away from the right-handers, and that's where the last 2 pitches have been for him.
Kyle Crockett is up in the Indians pen. On the ground is second. Kipnis, backhand play here, throws him out. So the Royals are done here in the 4th, but they score 3. It's a 1-run game as we head to the 5th.
your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. By the Cleveland Clinic. Call today for an appointment today. And by the game-changing all-new Ford F-150. The future is tough.
We head to the 5th inning. Zach McAllister came on in relief. That 4th inning got the last out. The Royals got 3 home to make this a close game. 6-5 Indians. Gomes, Sands, and Johnson are due up. Hitters 5, 6, and 7. And manager Terry Francona's lineup. Six runs on 9 hits for the Indians. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Royals. Both teams have played errorless ball thus far.
So they say. There's been
Fair
a few
point.
mistakes.
Very fair point.
Yeah.
Two 2-0 to Gomes, who earlier tonight, back in the 3rd inning, launched this one out to left.
Yeah, he got a fastball to his liking.
Sends that one straight up on the infield. Escobar says, I'll take it. 1 out here in the 5th. Let's get a Mazda game break as we head back to Cleveland. Here's Jensen Lewis with the latest on the Twins and Tigers. Jensen. They're even at 2. Earlier today, the Astros beat the Rangers 9-7. Toronto topped Tampa Bay. David Price got the win. 10-8 was the final there. Red Sox blanked the Orioles 8-0. Yankees came back and beat the White Sox 2-1. And another final in an interleague game today. The Giants and the A's. Hudson against Zito. There was a lot of ballyhoo about this one in Northern California. Final score: Giants 14, A's 10.
That went well. What Zito go 2 innings?
And he wasn't. Neither one was
innings,
long.
I think.
I'll tell you in a second here. That turned into a Raiders versus Niners game. But Tim Hudson, an inning and a third, 3 runs, 2 earned. Barry Zito, 2 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned. And here it's 6-5 Tribe. So we've seen a lot of runs today throughout baseball. That Yankees game was low scoring, but that was about it as far as the American League goes. Even in the National League, some high scoring games. Mets 10, Reds 2. Boy, the Mets are just rolling.
They clinched today, didn't they?
Yes, they did. So they clinched the National League East with that win. Pirates beat the Cubs 4-0. The Cubs wound up clinching last night late, so they're in. Well, there hasn't been a lot of surprises in the National League. About midway through the season, right where these teams were. I mean, the Mets and the Nationals was the one race I think you still considered open.
Right.
But the Mets put an end to that. Central, the Cardinals having a great season. Over in the West, the Dodgers with that pitching. And the Cubs and the Pirates, the wild card teams, they have an argument they might even be perhaps a little bit better than maybe the Mets or the Dodgers.
Well, they're going to be playing one game when it's all said and done here shortly.
Full count here to Jerry Sands, who came on to pinch run for Chisenhall back in the 3rd inning. Chis left with leg cramps. A swing and a miss. So since Jeremy Guthrie has come on, it's been effective. He's retired all 3 batters he's faced and has struck out 2. Let's take a look at our Buick stat of the game. It's the 200 strikeout club in the American League, and the only team with 2 members, the Indians, with Kluber and Carrasco.
You know, you look at that list, and the one guy that you wouldn't think, I wouldn't think would be on is Dallas Keuchel, because he throws, you know, he's not overpowering, but boy, he has such great control. 203 strikeouts, good for him.
Chris Johnson looks at a ball, count even at 1-1. He's 0 for 2 tonight. A fly out and a strikeout. And Guthrie's ahead of Chris Johnson. Guthrie originally drafted by the Tribe in 2002 out of Stanford. And strike 3 call. Third strikeout for Guthrie. 7 for Royals pitching. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 6-5 Tribe. Night against the New York Rangers coming up in 13 days on the home of the Blue Jackets, Fox Sports Ohio. Columbus finished the season last year 12-0-1. They'll see if they can continue on that streak as they take it into the season opener. Best of luck to the Blue Jackets. The season just seems like it never ends. Stanley Cup is over. A couple of weeks later, preseason begins. McAllister will see Kane, Hosmer, and Morales here in the bottom of the 5th inning. McAllister came on in relief of Josh Tomlin last inning. He got Ben Zobrist to ground out to end the inning after he hit Alex Gordon. Let's take a look at our Levin player profile. It's on Lorenzo Cain, who came out of Tallahassee Community College back in 2004, a member of the Brewers. Went to the Royals in the Zach Greinke deal. Last year had a very good postseason.
Yeah, he sure did, because then he took over this year and inserted him into the number 3 hole in the batting order after they signed Morales. They moved Hosmer out and has settled in nicely, having a good year.
Sometimes you make trades like that. Zach Greinke, who has gone on to continue to be a dominant pitcher in the major leagues, and you say, boy, what do we get back for him? Well, here you go. Sometimes it takes some time for these prospects to have a key role in your team.
Not only was it Kane, you're looking at the everyday shortstop Escobar as well.
Yes. Good pitch by McAllister. Strikes out Kane looking, and that is the first strikeout tonight for Indians pitching.
Let's make this our Circle K strikeout tonight. Fastball, outer edge. Right there. Kane could not pull the trigger. It's a good pitch. Had a little comeback to it. Gets out number 1 here in the 5th inning.
Here's Eric Hosmer. Popped out to third his first time up. Grounded out to second in the 4th inning. Big cut there for Eric Hosmer. He has 16 homers on the season. Seems the last year or so he is really taking those cuts to try to go deep.
31 doubles, 4 triples. He hits it to the big part of the ballpark and can actually take you out at any part. He's off the plate. He's got great extension. Got good power opposite way. And you know, this guy he's really overall a very good baseball player on both sides of the ball.
And has more speed than you typically see in a first baseman. It's that one to center. Almonte right there. Second out. Let's take a look at our injury report, brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Some bad news for the St. Louis Cardinals. Carlos Martinez left last night's game. He's got a right shoulder strain. He will miss the remainder of the season and the postseason. Will not require surgery, but look at his numbers, Rick. They're going to miss him.
Well, you know what? Go figure. It's happened to St. Louis all year long. They've had guys go out of the lineup, and it's continuing throughout the year. You know, Wainwright just coming back, and he's going to be out of their bullpen, I would imagine. But it's been one of those years for St. Louis, and guess what? They have, 97 wins? And they've lost a lot of players throughout the course of the year.
And the Cardinals 97 and 57. They're 54 and 25 at home, Rick. Best record in baseball.
Yeah, it's really scary. And, you know, a lot of people think that it's going to be Kansas City and St. Louis in the World Series when you talk to people. Hey, who do you like in the playoffs, you know, just to get a pick. A lot of people say this series here, Kansas City, St. Louis.
Well, it was interesting after last year's big second half run for the Royals and then into the World Series and taking it all the way to a Game 7. Could they build on that for this year? And they have. They're a better team this year than they were last year.
Well, no doubt. This guy that's at the plate right now has made a huge difference in the lineup for the Royals. He comes over here, fits into hits behind Hosmer, the switch hitter between Hosmer and Moustakas. And just, you know, he's 3rd in the league in the RBIs. A lot of them are very clutch RBIs. 52 of his 105 are with 2 outs. Fits into the lineup beautifully as the DH. They've got a good enough defense. Great piece to the puzzle.
Morales with 2 outs draws the walk. So he's on base for the second time tonight. We're just talking about Carlos Martinez, injured for the Cardinals. Andre, the Tribe has a couple of players that are hurt.
Yes, Michael Brantley did go through some more practice today, some more swings in the cage. He may be available tonight to pinch hit in the right situation later on in the game. Maybe in the starting lineup tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we should see him back in the lineup Monday with that arm. Now, Gio Urshela came out with the trainers hours before tonight's game and threw the ball around. Looked a little bit better. The team is going to wait till we get home on Monday. They're going to sit down with the doctors and Chris Antonetti to figure out if he will play again this season.
Well, and Gio wants so desperately to play too, and in his rookie campaign we've seen that glove at third base. He's been so good. Michael Brantley itching to get back in there as well. And I mean, this is all you got left is a little bit over a week. So
yeah, players want to play. They don't want to sit down. They don't like watching.
Mike Moustakas sizzles that one off the photo bay. 2 strikes now to Moustakas. With a ground rule double his last time up in the 4th inning. Came around and scored then on the Salvador Perez double, which followed Moustakas. Callister trying to get through the middle of this Royals batting order here in the 5th inning without allowing a run. The right field. Sands right there. Reaches up, grabs it. And the Royals are retired here in the 5th. We'll head to the 6th inning with the Indians in the lead by 1. Strongest fan photo. Use hashtag STODataStrongFan and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Top of the 6th inning here in Kansas City. A look at the fountains. Another packed house here tonight. Indians in the lead 6-5. It'll be Almonte, Aviles, and Kipnis. Hitters 8, 9, and 1. Jeremy Guthrie has faced 4 batters tonight out of the bullpen and has retired them all. 3 of the 4 on strikeouts.
Well, he held him in check when he came in Cleveland as well.
Almonte's been having a nice weekend. He doubled back in the 2nd inning. Hit a 2-run homer last night. Overall, Abe is 2 for 5 in this series thus far. That home run, couple of runs scored, couple of runs batted in, and a walk.
Well, if you're the Indians, you want to keep right on scoring if you can. So far tonight, every time the Indians have scored, the Royals have answered. So they've stayed right into the ball game.
There's Mike Aviles. He's next. That one is foul.
Out in front of a spinner that stayed middle of the plate that he hits foul.
Almonte with 5 homers this year, all off of right-handed pitching. A full count to the Indians' leadoff batter here in the 6th. Almonte stays alive.
Morales for the Royals. pitched in last night's game and didn't do a very good job. Just a third of an inning, 3 hits and a couple of runs.
And ball 4. So Almonte works the leadoff walk here in the 6th. The way tonight's game is going, figured they're going to need some more runs. Here's our in-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Santana, 2-run triple in the first. Gomes a solo homer here in the 3rd. That made it 4-1. Then Salvador Perez with a double made it 6-4 in the 4th inning. Kansas City wound up scoring 3 runs in that 4th to make the tally 6-5, which is where we're at right now. And Mike Aviles will lay down a bunt. It's a pretty good one. He'll stop and force Hosmer to go to first base. So the sacrifice bunt complete for Mike Aviles. 3 unassisted. And that'll move Almonte into scoring position with 1 out. And back to the top of the order we go with Jason Kipnis, who's 1 for 3 tonight.
Yeah, we're going to get a pitching change. Yeah, he's got Morales waiting for Kipnis after the sacrifice bunt.
Then Yost will go to Franklin Morales, 3rd Royals pitcher of the night. And we'll step aside. Top of the 6th with 1 out and 1 on. It's 6-5 Tribe.
And access to Tribe Rewards, and today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Brantley. You can visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
So Franklin Morales, the new Royals pitcher. We saw him last night, Rick, and as you said, he didn't have the best of outings.
No, he was not very good last night. Walked the first hitter he faced. Gave up a home run to Perez. Gave up a single. Did get a strikeout. Gave up another single, and he was gone. So he's up to face the top of the lineup. Let's see if they can do anything and add to a 6-5 lead.
Jason Kipnis batting .290 with runners in scoring position. Morales making sure Almonte hangs close to the bag at second. Kip 1 for 3 tonight. Opened the game with a single, scored a run. Also hit the ball hard in the 4th inning, but lined out to center. Kipnis against lefties this year, batting just .250. He has 3 of his 9 home runs from the left side of the plate as well. I should say facing left-handers. Obviously, he's always on the left side of the plate. He's ahead in the count here. On the ground, in the hole to right field. Almonte being waved around. Here he comes. Rios throw to the plate, cut off. And the Indians add another run. 7-5 Tribe on the RBI single for Jason Kipnis.
There you go. The walk, sacrifice, base hit. Make it a 7-5 lead. Good job. Clutch hitting by Kipnis finds the hole. Morales again fell behind, and what's the left-hander do? He gets a base hit. 10 hits for the Indians, 7 runs. Kipnis his second hit of the night and his 51st RBI. Zobrist going to his left. He can't catch up to it.
And with the way tonight is going, that's an important run.
They're all important. Don't stop there.
Jose Ramirez will see if he can keep the hit parade going here in the 6th.
Tell you, anytime you get into the bullpen and your starter only goes 3 2/3, like both these starters here tonight, it could be a long night, for the bullpen. It's one good thing. It's September. You have more pitchers. We will see a lot the rest of the way.
Jose Ramirez having another good night tonight. Tripled and scored in the 3rd, doubled and scored in the 4th.
Well, you want to talk cycle. This is the guy you want to talk about. He's got the double and triple out of the way. Needs the homer and a single.
5 home runs this season for Jose, and we were talking about that a little bit with Andre and the power that Jose Ramirez has shown for a small frame. I think he's got those quick hands through the zone that can make a difference.
As Andre said, it's all about the balance on his legs, his lower half. He keeps his feet underneath him.
But it's 2 hits tonight, Rick.
The first one's a triple on the breaking ball, plugs the gap in right center field. And to be honest with you, I think they could have given him a triple on this ball down the right field line. No one's playing him to pull. It's just that they went home with the throw and they didn't really have an opportunity to get a Velas. And there he goes. There's the single. So he's a homer shy.
So the 3rd hit tonight for Jose Ramirez, who is now starting to really take to that 2 hole.
Well, again, second night in a row. Thanks for coming. Morales, he's going to be out, but there's a good swing there. Ramirez gets the single. So it's now 1st and 2nd and only 1 out, and Ned Yost coming to take the ball away and go to his right-hander.
So he's going to go with Hochevar, who will be the 4th Royals pitcher of the night. Morales leaves with 2 runners aboard that are his responsibility. We'll take a break once again. Indians in the lead by 2. And Luke Hochevar on for the Royals.
Luke Hochevar, a guy that missed some time last year with the arm surgery, coming back to the bullpen this year. Was so good the year before that. as he was one of their main starters, went to the bullpen and was very effective. Well, he's coming on with 1 out. He's on to face Lindor. The Indians with 2 runners on and already a run home.
Lindor will see if he can add on for the Tribe here in the 6th inning. Lindor 1 for 1 tonight. Doubled and scored in the 1st inning. Hit a sacrifice fly to right in the 3rd. Walked and stole a base in the 4th inning.
Good breaking ball there. Held it for a long time before he delivered it to home plate.
So Hochevar jumps out in front of Francisco Lindor. 2 on and still 1 out here in the 6th. Lindor hits that one back up the middle. It's a base hit. Sarbo waves around Kipnis. Kane loses the ball. Kipnis will score easily. It's 8-5. Ramirez goes to 3rd, and another run batted in for Francisco Lindor.
Boy, you talk about a nice job of Lindor. He's down in the count 0-2. It was a terrible pitch by Hochevar. It's right down the middle. And boy, Lindor took advantage of it. Frankie gets a base hit. Kane coming on. It's going to be a base hit and an error because Kane can't field it cleanly. So Ramirez goes to 3rd. The Indians with runners on the corners. And it's now a 3-run lead and a chance to add on. So they come right back. There's their 2 on the board again. 4th time tonight, huh?
2 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. Santana will see if he can make it a 3. Runners at 1st and 3rd, still only 1 out. The Indians back up by 3. They've led it by as many as 4 tonight at 6-2. Santana with the triple and 2 strikeouts. Carlos also with 2 RBIs tonight. He has 79.
Well, you look at the offense. Kipnis has 2 hits. Ramirez 3 hits. Lindor 2 hits. And everybody else has pretty much sprinkled 1 in. Johnson, the only guy without a hit tonight.
These 2 teams have combined here in the top of the 6th for 13 runs on 19 hits. Just saw our first official error of the game. And Lorenzo Cain was unable to field that when he came running in, which allowed Jose Ramirez to move to 3rd base. Now 3-0 to Santana. Yan Gomes would be next. Santana swinging at 3-0. To 2nd for 1, on to 1st, not in time. So Santana gets the run batted in on the fielder's choice as Ramirez scores. 9-5 Indians.
Yeah, 3-0 pitch, and he tried to hook it. You know, then you look for your pitch on a 3-0 count. He gets the run in. He just didn't hit it hard enough to where they could turn it.
That's the 3rd run batted in tonight for Santana to give him 80 RBI on the season. So here's Yan Gomes, who homered back in the 3rd inning. Gomes also grounded out and struck out. Well, Shaver making sure Santana is close. Now he's ahead of Gomes, 0-2. Indians already with 3 runs home here in the 6th. They have a 9-5 lead. Goes Shaver trying to get out of it. Santana running. Throw down to second is out at second base. Just the second time Carlos has been caught stealing this year. So the Indians retired in the 6th inning, but they score 3 more and take a 9-5 lead into the bottom of the 6th. Of the night, tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag STO DataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. It is brought to you by T-Mobile. All right, Lee. So we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, bottom third of the batting order for the Royals, and Jeff Manship is the new tri-pitcher. What a year it's been for Jeff Manship.
Well, he's certainly opened up a lot of eyes this year. The way he's come out of the bullpen and the job that he's done. Made that move in spring training over to the third base side of the rubber. Gives him better extension and better breaking ball.
Salvador Perez, an easy ground out to Lindor. 1 out here in the 6th inning. Well, with Manship too, Terry Francona even said, you invite a number of non-roster pitchers to spring training, not knowing really who's going to shake out and make a difference. And Manship showed something there. Goes down to AAA. When he came up out of the bullpen, again, sometimes as a starter, when you go to the pen, it makes you a better pitcher because now you can throw a little bit harder. You're not facing as many hitters. And of course, Manship used to start with Minnesota. Mixed results as a starter, but so far so good out of the pen.
Well, some guys are just not meant to be starters. They're not. Their stuff doesn't just translate, and they, as you say, they can go out into the bullpen, and you're not going to go through the lineup one time. You can rear back. You have a lot more life to it, but you have to learn how to pitch out of the pen going in there.
Well, thus far it's worked out for Manship and the Tribe. He faces Alex Rios here with 1 out. Rios hits that one hard to left field, but Aviles is back in front of the track to record it for the 2nd out. Tomorrow afternoon, the Indians wrap up their series and the 2015 road schedule against the Royals. Danny Salazar looks for his 14th win of the season. Dr. Judd and Jensen start the day on Indians Live at 1:30, followed by first pitch with us here on the home of the Indians, Sports Time, Ohio.
Dr. Judd.
Dr. Judd. Hey, that's what I was told. So if he's a doctor, Dave, I didn't know all these years, but I want to give him the respect due to him. Well, that we don't know either, but so make sure you join Judd and Jensen tomorrow. Dr. Judd.
That's what I know him as, Judd.
Alcides Escobar 2 for 2 tonight. Made a great catch in the 1st inning.
Boy, did he ever.
Over the shoulder to Rob Jose Ramirez of what would be a perfect night for Jose. That's the only time he's been retired tonight. Ramirez is 3 for 4.
Well, Escobar is 2 for 2 here, and his 2 ABs. He brought the game to within 1 in his last at-bat single. Made it a 6-5 game, but the Indians at a 3 spot in the 6th. For the 2nd time tonight, they've had a 4-run lead.
Jeff Manship trying for the clean inning here. 2-2 to Alcides Escobar. Alex Gordon on deck. Rips that one, but foul. These 2 hits tonight. Escobar now 7 for 13 on the current Royals homestand at Seattle earlier this week. That one right there. Great pitch by Manship. His first strikeout, the 2nd for Indians pitching tonight. The Royals go 3 up, 3 down here in the 6th. We head to the 7th. 9-5 Indians.
Kia. Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. By Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture and freestanding locations. And by AT&T Uverse, has more channels on the go than cable.
7th inning here in Kansas City. Gorgeous night tonight for a baseball game. Perfect weather. Temperature just recently has dipped under 80, but not much humidity. And the Indians have a 9-5 lead. Luke Hochevar will continue for the Royals. He's the 4th KC pitcher tonight. He'll see Gomes, Sands, and Johnson.
Yeah, Gomes was at the plate when Santana got thrown out trying to steal second base in the old 2 count.
Carlos Santana now 11 for 13 in stolen bases this year.
Well, he doesn't run often, you know, so when you pick your times, you know, I think they pick them for him. 0-2 counts and certain times when he just, you know, stands out there and they send him, and it can be done. If it's done at the right time, then they pick the right spot.
Gomes with that home run back in the 3rd inning. His 12th of the year. Both bullpens are quiet for the moment. John now 5 for 16 on this road trip. He's got 3 doubles and a homer. Stays alive there. Jan has talked about recently too about finally getting in the rhythm after missing a couple of months of the season. He finally feels that he's in peak form, but unfortunately for him, there's just over a week to go.
Well, when you miss 6 weeks and you're playing catch up once you come back, you know, you're thinking, all right, I wish it would continue to go. I'm sure he feels strong, but unfortunately the season does come to an end. You get to 162. He got hurt so early in the year too. That was the bad thing about it.
Fouls that one straight back to remain alive. And his leadership too, especially in the last couple of years. He's really taken on that role in the clubhouse along with several others. To miss that,
the pitchers love him, you know, behind the plate. That's the big thing. You've got to have that relationship with your starters out there. That did give Perez an opportunity when he was down, where it helped him out a lot this year too. Perez has done a nice job behind the plate when the opportunity is there.
Holmes pops it up again, straight back, out of play. We talked about last night the depth at the catching position with Roberto Perez, that you can play every day, and he's also got many positive qualities too. To have both of these guys healthy, Gomes and Perez, that's about as strong of a tandem catching wise as you'll see.
Well, Perez is going to get, you know, his days are going to come with day games after night games and facing tough pitchers whenever Gomes need a rest. But his job is to go out there and handle the pitchers and throw, and he's done a nice job doing that.
This one will stay in play for Eric Hosmer as Gomes pops out for the first out. So talking about getting later in the season, in September, of course, the rosters expand, and it seems now, Andre, that, you know, more and more we see more pitchers up here than we did 20, 30 years ago, and so there's a lot of arms. How do you keep them fresh?
Well, the thing about that is, and this is really a conversation not just for the Indians, but around Major League Baseball with so many teams that are still in the pennant race. A lot of these managers don't like that you can have all these pitchers and you can use them however you want to use them. I talked to Terry Francona about it a couple days ago, and he goes, look, why don't we just pick a certain amount of number of guys we can have and leave it at that? He doesn't think it's fair, especially if you're in a pennant race, that the team can have, you know, 15 pitchers out there and use all of them. Rick, what do you do in this situation? Because it's just not Tito that has a problem with this. This is a problem throughout Major League Baseball.
I agree. The only time you're going to see a lot of these guys is in one-sided blowouts. You know, where, hey, I just want to save my guys here. I'm going to throw out somebody else. It doesn't matter. You see the good pitchers. And the unfortunate thing to that, Andre, is when it is the pennant run, September, it's meaningful games to a lot of teams and you're allowed more than 25 guys. It makes no sense. You're not allowed more than 25 all year.
Right. Now, would it be easier if you just were able to, pick a roster before the game? That's what Tito would want.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And I know where you're going with this. Stay with a 25-man roster. You got to pick and choose who you want on their roster that night before the game starts.
So then here's my question. The guys that are in the starting rotation, you would automatically leave them off if they're not pitching that night.
Well, yeah.
So would you have to find a way around that? I mean, maybe is it, I don't know, you have 21 guys that you make active?
That's what baseball, you know what, a lot of managers have talked about it, and baseball's going to have to figure it out, I would think, unless they want to continue to do it. Gripes, well, why don't you expand the rosters in April when you're coming out of spring training, when you need the bodies a little bit more than in September?
Well, that's been batted around too. What if you had that 26th or even 27 men for the first couple of weeks? Jerry Sands hits it hard. O'Shaver, a nice play to retire Sands for the second out.
I don't know. A lot of guys get called up now, and I think it's to get used to the atmosphere here and what's going on around. And I mean, that's one thing. That's not a bad thing to let the kids see it, but they're not going to play in meaningful games, and if you're out of it, then they're going to bring them up and kids can play and the organization can see what they have. But when you're bringing up guys and you have, example, on this road trip we went to Minnesota, they had 12 pitchers in their bullpen. They had 4 left-handers, 8 right-handers. You can bring a match up from the 6. I'm going to bring a left-hander here, and it's not part of the game that we use all year long.
Well, that's an excellent point too, because for one batter you can bring in a kid from AA or AAA, especially a left on left, and put him in a spot where he's probably going to be successful. And if you've got a number of arms, you can do that and it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, you can call up to whatever you want to do.
One and 2 to Chris Johnson, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Drive DH. There's the Royals bullpen. And they've already used 4 pitchers tonight, 3 out of the pen. And it still looks pretty crowded out there. Johnson went too far. He strikes out. 8th strikeout for Royals pitching tonight. Indians go 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. Time now for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. In the lead 9-5 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jeff Manship will remain in the game to work another frame. And after the game tonight, make sure you join us for Indians Live with Dr. Dave Janowski and Jensen Lewis. Complete wrap up on tonight's game. Highlights and analysis. We'll take you around the majors too. There's been a lot of runs scored throughout baseball today, so they'll keep up with the latest there. Also hear from Terry Francona. Top of the Royals order here in the 7th. It'll be Gordon, Zobrist, and Kane. Gordon 1 for 2 tonight. He's been on base twice. Singled in the 3rd. Hit by a pitch in the 4th. Boy, Manship is not afraid to attack hitters, is he?
No, he is not. Gordon doesn't like it. He's going to let the umpire know, but it's down and in. Gets it called a strike.
Manship has retired all 3 batters he's faced tonight. The air caught by Jose Ramirez, who is over there at the shortstop position. Try Penn tonight, Rick. Pretty good.
Well, McAllister came out for an inning and a 3rd and had a walk and a strikeout. Did hit a batter, and there's a nice easy ground ball. Manship comes down. They had a 1-2-3 inning in his first, so he's going to try and go 2. Then Tito's got it set up. He's got Shaw out there and Allen if need to be. That 4-run lead. I see Crockett's up and throwing as well.
Ben Zobrist 1 for 6 in the series. He's one hit that home run earlier tonight. And he shoots that one to Ramirez, who rights himself and throws him out. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. And tonight, be sure to catch Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1 for complete highlights and analysis of everything that happened in Major League Baseball. Plus, news from the NFL and the world of sports. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Possibly Escobar could have the 1 tonight. Or maybe not.
For what? Defense?
The defense.
Absolutely. He gets my vote.
Okay. We'll send that along to the boys and girls at Fox Sports and say, hey,
Got
Rick
their
Manning
number?
says it's Escobar.
Text him and let him know.
Okay, I'll do that.
Please.
I'll second it as well. Show some unison. Or unity. That's what I was looking for. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Lorenzo Cain 0 for 3 tonight. Back to Manship. 6 up, 6 down for Jeff Manship. 7 innings in the books. Indians in the lead, 9-5.
of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Kansas City will use their 5th pitcher tonight. Fellow we saw last night, Miguel Almonte.
Almonte coming in again. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of the same pitchers. They're down 4 runs right now. Going into the 8th inning.
He'll see hitters 8, 9, and 1 in the Tribe batting order. And the Indians, Almonte. Abraham will lead it off. Abe's been on base twice tonight. He's 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and he scored a run in the 6th inning. Nine runs on 12 hits for the Tribe, 5 runs on 7 hits for the Royals. Both teams with 4 left on base. No errors tonight for the Indians. 1 error for the Royals, but had a couple other plays defensively tonight, Rick, where uncharacteristically they weren't errors, but they played it into bigger hits for the Indians.
Yeah, well, you're right. There was a few plays there that were scored hits.
Almonte might beat this one out. Stock is good, charge and throw, and he makes the play. So that's the good tonight for Kansas City. Here's the not so good.
One right between the legs of Hosmer. And that coming in the 1st inning where the Indians were able to put 2 on the board. Rios thought he was going to catch a ball. A wild pitch gets under Perez's glove. And then Kane does make an error and allowed a guy to go to 3rd base and ended up coming around to score.
One out for Mike Aviles. 1 for 2 tonight with a successful sacrifice bunt his last time up. He moved Almonte to 2nd. And he would eventually come around and score on the Jason Kipnis single. One and 2 to Mike Aviles. With Jason Kipnis waiting on deck. Off the end of his bat. Hosmer to Almonte, 2 outs. Now the Indians will wrap up this series with the Royals tomorrow, the Tribe's last road game of the year. Again, first pitch is at 2. We're with you at 1:30 for Indians Live with Jensen and Chud.
Did you say last road game? Hard to believe, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the 81st one on the road coming tomorrow.
This season, for all intents and purposes, has seemed to move pretty quickly.
For who, you?
Well, yeah. I haven't been on the road all season, though.
Right,
I get it.
I know. I was just kidding. A lot of people have said that to me this year. You know, boy, it seems like it's flown by.
They're all in Cleveland, though, right?
Yeah. It's a little different when you're out on the road every day.
Very true. So here's Kipnis with a couple of hits tonight. He's 2 for 4. Also has 2 runs scored and a run batted in. So good night tonight for Kip. He and Jose Ramirez have combined to go 5 for 8 at the top of the order.
Yeah, they've scored 5 runs.
And if you want to throw in Lindor, make it 7 for 10, the top 3 in the Indians order.
I like that. I like that. Actually, up and down the lineup, they've done a nice job tonight. 12 hits, 6 extra base hits. All those extra base hits came early.
3-1 to Kipnis. Some games concerning the wild card run for that second seed. The Astros won earlier today. The Orioles lost. The Twins are beating the Tigers 4-2 in the 8th. Angels and Mariners tied at 1 in the bottom of the 2nd in Anaheim. Full count to Kip. And he gets a piece. It's a fair ball. Perez hops out of his catcher's position and throws him out. Indians go 1-2-3 in the 8th. Bottom half coming up next. 9-5 Tribe. We promised earlier in the game, it is Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lights. Jose Ramirez today, 3 for 4. Single, double, and a triple.
Well, he's had a really good series. And we're going to get a chance to see him hit for the cycle. He'll be leading off at 9th.
Kyle Crockett in to throw for the Tribe after Jeff Manship. 2 exceptional innings of relief. He went 6 up, 6 down.
Yeah, he made it. Did quick work of the Kansas City offense.
Look at this. It is just foul. Wow. With the shift on, Eric Hosmer almost beat it.
He lost a piece of the bat. He has you watch the tip of it. He uses a cupped end, and he hit it off the end, and that came awfully close to staying fair. Just a little chip off the end. Watch, see if you can see it. Right off the end. There it goes. See it? Right out in front of the plate now. He was looking down the line, and look how close that was. That would have been a double, probably.
That one is fair, and a nice play by Santana, who gets up and runs to the bag.
They went from one line to the other in a pitch. Santana, a nice play. Covering the line, goes to the glove hand side, and he realized I got to get up quickly, and he did. Umpire right behind him hustling to get into play, but he made it look easy, and that was a very good play.
1 out here in the Royals' 8th. Kendrys Morales 1 for 2 tonight. Single, a run scored, and a walk. He also grounded out to Santana back in the 2nd inning. 105 runs batted in this year for Morales. Rick, we were talking about him a little bit earlier, but boy, what a comeback year. Last year, not very effective for the Twins or the Mariners, but this year, He's been that power threat once again.
Well, if you remember, they didn't sign him. He never had a spring training. And he never started till, what was it, June of some time. And, you know, he just never caught up. The Royals saw something in there they really liked. You know, they ended up signing him. He comes to spring training, fits into this lineup beautifully, you know. So whatever it was, he fit in here just like a glove.
Kyle Crockett's ahead of him. Morales demonstrably upset with that call. He's still talking to home plate umpire Mike Estabrook.
Throw it again. He tried, but it hit him. That's the way to do it. The umpire wants to call it. They argue. Go right back into the same spot. He just got too much of it, and he hits Morales. Couldn't get the back foot out of the way.
Threw his arm up, but does he really think that?
No, I don't think he thought that. I don't think he thought it at all. I think he was more upset with the umpire calling that pitch before that a strike. He's walking around, looks like he wants a pinch runner. But I'm thinking this is going to be Crockett's last hitter here with Moustakas.
After that, it'll be Perez and Rios, a couple of righties. Brian Shaw appears ready in the tri-pen.
Yeah, he's been up. He's ready to go.
Strike one to Mike Moustakas. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He doubled in that big fourth inning for Kansas City and scored a run. KC put up 3 runs in that fourth. At the time, made the score 6-5 Tribe. The Indians scored 3 in the top of the 6th. Pushed the margin out to 9-5. Time called at first base. I think Morales said he's done.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it didn't look like he wanted to run. He wants a pinch runner.
Here comes Ned Yost.
Talking about something down on his ankle over there. Oh, the trainer. It's nice when you tell them, well, it's right over here on my ankle, and they put their thumb right in the spot that it hit, and you jump.
That's not good.
Yeah, you could tell he didn't want to stay in the game.
So Morales will head to the dugout.
Timeout. I've had enough. I gotta go. Look at, he's telling the first base coach, hey, get somebody in here for me.
So Paulo Orlando will take his place. He pinch runs here in the 8th inning with 1 out. Orlando started last night's game. He batted cleanup. Infield shift is on for Moustakas. Outfield is straight away. On the ground, foul outside the bag at first. I think Moustakas celebrated his 27th birthday on September 11th. Really came into his own this year. We talked about it last night. How in April he was flirting with 400 for a while, but Rick using all fields well. And you know, again, we see the shift here, but earlier in the season, not a lot of teams could use this shift against him.
Well, you learn. He had to go down to the minor leagues and figure it out. Perfect double play ball.
Kipnis to the third baseman. Ramirez over to Santana. That'll go 4-5-3 on the twin killing, and the Royals retired here in the 8th. We go to the 9th. Indians in the lead by 4. Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. 6th Royals pitcher of the night is Jabba Chamberlain. He'll see hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the tribe order. Ramirez, Lindor, and Santana.
Well, dig in, swing hard. He needs the home run for the cycle.
You're right. He tripled in the 3rd, doubled in the 4th, singled in the 6th.
And Escobar took a base hit away from him in the 1st. Yep. Or he should be 4 for 4.
Ramirez having a great night as he takes strike 1 from Jabba Chamberlain. Ramirez now 5 for 9 in this series with the Royals. Had a couple of hits last night. Disagrees with that strike call there. But he's down 0-2. Count evens. Jabba Chamberlain began his career with the Yankees, then went over to Detroit. Now here in Kansas City. From 0-2 to 3-2 to Jose Ramirez.
Either slide.
Ramirez pops that one up left side. Shortstop Escobar says he'll take it. 1 out here in the 9th. Let's take a look at our Pat O'Brien play of the game, and Francisco Lindor with this RBI single here in the 6th inning. That helped the Tribe get 3 runs that frame and That made it 8-5. Eventually it was 9-5. That's our Pat O'Brien play of the game, and that was a big hit, Rick. And the Indians scoring those 3 runs in the 6th was pretty big too, because they were up 6-2. The Royals came back and made it 6-5, and then the Tribe answered.
I love every time they get on the road they can score in the first inning. You know, they put 2 on and they're in front. Now, even though they answered every time the Indians put it on, they just never stopped. They continued, and it was all crooked numbers tonight. And that's a good deal.
2 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the 6th for the Tribe. 9 runs on 12 hits overall. KC with 5 runs on 7 hits. Francisco Lindor had a couple of those 12. He's 2 for 2 tonight. He's down in the count here. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th for Kansas City. It'll be their bottom third of the order. Perez, Rios, and Escobar are due. And strike 3. They'll have to throw Lindor out at first. Perez does that. 2 outs here in the 9th. It's the 9th strikeout for Kansas City pitching tonight. That'll bring Carlos Santana to the plate. He tripled back in the first inning, knocked in a couple of runs, picked up another RBI and a fielder's choice in the 6th. So Santana now with 80 runs batted in. Checking the out-of-town scoreboard. Bottom of the 9th inning in Detroit. Twins lead the Tigers 6-2. That one behind Santana.
Well, there's a fastball, and you want to talk about behind you. A lot of times as a hitter, you try to jump back out of the way. You jump right into that pitch because you never see pitches back there behind your legs.
Now, the first reaction is to step back. Somehow Santana was able to avoid that one around his shins. Checks his swing there. So 3-0 to Santana. Also out on the West Coast, the Mariners have moved ahead of the Angels 2-1. They're in the top of the 3rd. Earlier today, the Astros a winner 9-7 over the Rangers. The Red Sox beat the Orioles 8-0. Games concerning the American League wild card. Over the AL East, the Blue Jays won again 10-8 over the Rays. The Yankees beat the White Sox 2-1. Now Santana's unhappy with the strike call.
Well, this game remains the same. If it does, Kansas City and Toronto will be tied as far as record-wise, going for home field advantage.
And a swing and a miss. Couple of strikeouts for Chamberlain here in the 9th. We head to the bottom half. The Indians have the lead 9-5. Bottom of the ninth here in Kansas City. Last chance for the Royals. They'll be facing Brian Shaw, who's the new Indians pitcher. But let's take a look back at our keys to the game right now. Brought to you by Wayside Furniture. First key was to solve Medlin. The Indians did that. Medlin came into tonight with 13 1/3 shutout innings career-wise against the Tribe. Well, that is taken care of. And Josh Tomlin, 4 quadrants of the strike zone. He ran into trouble in the 4th inning and didn't make it out of the 4th, but the Indians have the 4-run lead right now.
Well, both starters went 3 2/3 innings tonight, so not good starts by either of them. But it's the offense of the Indians that will prevail. They need 3 more outs, though.
Brian Shaw making his team-high 71st appearance on the season. We'll see Salvador Perez, Alex Rios, and Alcides Escobar. Strike 1 to Perez. Curveball is hit high in the air to left. Aviles coming in. 1 out here in the 9th for the Royals. Well, the Indians bullpen tonight, Rick, has been very good.
Well, that's exactly what they had to do. McAllister went his inning in the 3rd. Manship went 2 innings. Did a nice job. And Crockett comes out, gets a double play. He went his 1 inning to face his 3 hitters.
So the Indians bullpen shutout baseball thus far. And now 4 2/3 innings. Shutout baseball. 1 out here in the 9th for Alex Rios. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Fly out to right, center, and left field. Again, stick around after the game for Indians Live. Judd and Jensen. The Indians try to make it 2 straight over KC, 3 straight overall. Try to go above 500 for the first time this season since April 9th when they were 2-1.
Yeah, that's coming out of Houston. First series of the year. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
It really is. Been close many times, especially in August and September. Yeah,
just haven't been able to get over it.
So if Brian Shaw can get 2 more outs, the Indians will be above the 500 mark. And that is strike 3 to Alex Rios as he froze him. First strikeout for Shaw. Just the 3rd tonight for Indians pitching, but pretty good pitch here.
There's the cutter right there, locks him up. Rios can't pull the trigger. Out number 2.
Alcides Escobar. 2 for 3 tonight. A triple and a single. Brian Shaw trying for the 3-up, 3-down 9th inning. Win tonight would also keep the Tribe within 3 games of the Astros for that 2nd playoff seed. It is a final now in Detroit. Minnesota has won. Baltimore has lost. The Mariners lead the Angels in the bottom of the 3rd 2-1. Two quick strikes to Escobar as Brian Shaw is going right at him here in the 9th inning.
Yeah. 7 pitches, 7 strikes.
That one foul into the seats. Again, a reminder to join us tomorrow for the final game of this series and road trip. The final road game of the season. 2 o'clock first pitch, 1:30 Indians Live. Right here on Sports Time Ohio. Danny Salazar will go for the Tribe. As the Indians, they can get this final out here. We'll be looking for a sweep in Kansas City. On the ground to short. Lindor makes the throw. The game is over. Third straight win for the Indians, second straight over KC, and for the first time since April 9th, the Indians are above the 500 mark. The final score, Cleveland 9, Kansas City 5. Zach McAllister will get the win. Chris Medlin will take the loss. The Indians have one more game on the road before they come home to close out the season with 7 in a row. So the Tribe still hanging in there with the win tonight.
Yeah, you like the way they came out. They battled. There's smiles all the way around, and hey, they're over the 500 mark. They've been